Okay, so I am going to do number 92 from the homework in the OpenStax Chapter 2 homework. And so I'm going to suggest that you have Excel for this. So number 92, so this one says we have a table for the percent of children under 5 considered to be underweight. What is the best estimate for the mean percentage of underweight children? So the easiest way to handle this is to first copy this table and to paste it into Excel. So first I'm going to copy this and I'm just going to paste that table right in, and I'm going to change the font so that I can read it. And I'm going to expand these different columns. And when I center everything, for some reason, the data like compresses nicely. So I just hit the center button and it just automatically formatted like this. Okay, so we have a frequency table and we have all these ranges of data. And so there's a couple different ways on how you can kind of deal with this. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make some extra columns here to help me out with this. So what I need to know for each one of these is what is the minimum and the maximum value. So for instance, in this category here, 16 is the minimum and 21.45 is the maximum. So if you wanted to, you could write an Excel formula that basically references this maximum going forward, and I'm lazy, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I just need to put in that new maximum for each category. So it's 32.25, 37.8, 43.25, and 48.7. Okay, so I'm just going to double check that I have all the right values here. So these should be the minimum and the maximum in each category. So I'm good to go. Now, however you decided to fill in this table, that's all good. But so this is like the first thing that you've got to break out, and there's no like nice way to necessarily do this in Excel. So I just write them out by hand because it's not that many. Now, the next thing that you need to know is what is the average of the minimum and the maximum. So I am just going to write a little formula here, and I will just drag it. Okay, there we go. So now I can take this by the frequency. So basically now, if I know the frequency of each one of these averages, that's going to serve as the numerator portion of my calculation. So I'm going to take the number of countries times the average, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to expand this so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the number of countries times the average, and I like to center everything. So now that I've set all of this up, I can just continue this calculation all the way down. And so this sum here, this is going to be the numerator of my average function. Okay, so I am now going to take the sum of all of these. And so this represents kind of the average of all of this data here. And then for the denominator, so the denominator is divided by how many data points that I have. And the number of data points that I have, this is the number of data points that I have, right? So that's going to serve as my denominator. So I have the numerator and the denominator now for my my calculation. And so the mean in this case is going to be taking the numerator divided by the denominator, and that is a good approximation for the mean of this data. So the idea here is that, yeah, I calculated this mean. I don't actually know what the exact number of, like, I don't know in this like 23, these 23 countries, I don't know what the actual percentage is, right? I just know that average. And so if I take that average of it, it kind of gets me a close enough mean given that I only have a frequency table.